that time. It might be that time of year, because if it's like when I was at uni, come January, February and March to April, you're coming up to the exams.
It's assessment time, isn't it? Yeah.
For me, it was every year. Mine was London University. It was modular based, so every year our exams counted. I mean, every year in the first.
Ooh.
Oh
you
yeah.
You can get a DOS year for your first year. That's not.
No. Everyone counted from the. Yeah. So
most people on the engineering course spent the first year drunk.
Well, you sort of.
I mean, I did. I don't drink. But, yeah.
You sort of do that about this time of the year, and then after March, February, you start to get to the point of knuckling down to revision, and literally the last 1 week of exams, or 2 weeks, I can never remember, in which the only things you did was revise, exam, drink, go to the refectory, and that was it. You didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Right. It's a shame, but Victor will be in the background most of the time. We've got 3 of...
Looking menacing, no doubt, but he will be there.
Oh, yeah. As he said, I've got to figure out how to get people onto this game, but we'll see. As he said, I've been nice and busy. There's now a folder called the Paradox Edge, and all the characters I've used, and all that is in one background. Well, I'm going to run other series, so I thought that seems, rather than me moving these around with every folder, put it in one folder, which includes your favourite characters, including the Russian gangsters. Oh yeah, Professor Dalton knows the Russian gangsters.
They're really good fun.
Oh boy.
Yes.
I know.
The big one.
They're very stereotypical Russian gangsters as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll threaten to break our legs at some point. It'll be fine.
I think it was it. The small one said the big one would skin you, but he was something like that. Right. Now, let's just have a look down what we did. Remember rightly last time, I think it was Franco had just arrived in Majara and had the usual welcome, if I remember right. Yeah.
The airport's always a rite of passage for everybody.
You've got the silent treatment. I thought. Oh yeah, there are some others which are equally entertaining.
If you're not dazed and confused by the time you got out of it, you're not doing it right.
Yes.
Right.
I think, as far as I remember, is you had You had a left. You came out into the hallway. You met a talking dog. You had someone sell you a postcard in the airport, didn't they? Or tried to sell you a postcode, and they charged you $1 for it. They asked for a megabuck or something like that? I can't remember.
Right, they asked for a megabuck at first.
Yeah.
And he warned me about saurians also.
Yes, and you had the encounter with the pigeon, if I remember rightly.
That's right. I eventually gave him some booze also.
Yeah. So yeah.
I had a drink with him.
That's it, and you ended up going to the Caesar Hotel. You didn't take the black cab, you took as normal cab.
Right.
And you ended up at the Caesar's Hotel. Was it booked in? I think you had a visitation from Men in Black, didn't you?
Yeah.
They sort of searched your room.
Yeah.
And you had a very strange knife, which you chucked out of the window, and it apparently came back and stuck back in your desk again.
Exactly.
Which I think later on you've got advised, don't lose it.
Yes.
Yeah, by Professor Dalton, who's quite apt at such things.
Yeah, I still get a full explanation about that yet.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, I think Becky's character, Professor Dalton, and Victor Kovac, still in SS uniform after saving the universe. Hurrah! From the evil goddess, if I remember what it is, Tanis Hususu, blowing up the reality machines, are standing outside an office. I think it's called DK Imports.
It is, yeah.
Which you didn't know was yours until this jump. First thing, you went into the office, to find. You have a secretary called Marie, who looks remarkably like the person that blew up in the fractal pattern. You know,
in Tokyo Dreams. Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
That was so weird. Anyway.
He was. Well, you know what that one was.
Yeah. I just don't know why she's there, or here, or wherever we are.
Yes.
Anyway, never mind.
Never mind. You got in and got told there was a Mr. White. Is it Mr.? The White Rabbit waiting for you in the office.
Yeah.
Yep. And you wandered off to change.
You got a thank you note from Beyond Human LLC as well.
That's true.
And
you
a
did.
payment for the return of 1-0
101. Is it 101-23? I can never remember.
And then a note from Mr. Morningstar saying thank you for the souls you have procured for me.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yes.
I will remember your service to myself. I'm like, great.
Yes. You.
I don't recall doing that, but fine.
You you find some civilian clothes. You go to meet Mr. the White Rabbit.
Yep.
Who was a very how you say, pleasant gentleman.
I've written very abrasive and obsessed with time wasting.
Yes, who was very abrasive.
Time is money in a very sort of Wall Street kind of way. Yeah. He wants us to find a girl called Alice, dead or alive, which is a bit concerning.
Yep, and if I remember rightly, and
she's escaped from the Dorbain Asylum.
Yes,
apparently.
in a fire about a week ago. Mm-hmm. He's given you no pictures. The only
Professor Dalton did try and negotiate her welfare because he's a bit concerned by this.
Yes, he wasn't very interesting. Well, I also forgot to mention too, the guy also has a patch over one eye.
Oh, okay.
Which I forgot to mention. That's important. I think in the meanwhile, was that the first day? It wasn't the first day, was it? All this happened on the first day anyway, yeah. In the meanwhile, was it... I think Francis had a card with a number on it. And I remember the reason he came to Al-Majara because he had the word Alice running around in his head. And in this card was a number, I think gave you a number, which you rang, which went to, got you to the, DK Imports?
Right.
And basically, I think you wandered off. They said, wandered off to there to talk to who was there. Where you met, I think, with Professor Dalton and was Professor Dalton and Victor Kovac. I think you then wandered off to somewhere which was a little bit more. Salubrious. I think you went to the Caesar Hotel. I think on the way down. Go on.
Oh, I think I called and just left a message.
Yeah.
They weren't in it.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think you've arranged a meeting, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the Caesar Hotel. I think you meet there and have an interesting discussion. During which, if I remember... you met in the restaurant.
Yeah.
During it, one of you had another visitation from Pigeon Post. Again. You had a visitation from Mr. Morningstar. Again. Who did something very... he seemed to be very pleased with you, and as he walked out, killed a gentleman.
We had the German officer as well.
Oh yes.
He interrupted and gave me a note.
Yes. You also had a knock on the door from your old friend, one of your old friends, Dimitri, who gave you another note saying the project had been cancelled, and you had been recalled back to Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Morningstar just had a quick discussion with you. Then you had met the Mad Hatter. Franco was looking a little bit, how you say, off-put by the whole, the whole thing. Wondering why the hell has he come here for? I can't remember if you actually... Yeah, I think he spent the rest of the evening sort of generally drinking. You had Man in Black that generally was it indeed. You had the dog that talked. Yes, you had the man in the SS uniform. You had the letter on someone knocking on your door. Yeah, that's about as much as I can remember.
As much as I've got.
Yeah.
I think we ended it there.
Yes, because it seemed like a good thing. I think Mr. Franco has just been introduced to the madness that is, was it Al Majara, totally and utterly. And this place is a little yes, and this hotel you're in is one of the safest hotels you'll be there. I still need your character sheet at some point.
Oh yeah, I was just
yeah.
I can give you a.
I think you did.
A quick. I think I sort of gave you a quick and dirty, like what my 4 traits actually.
If you just put it in your channel, that should be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
So it's another day. Was it on the Wonders of Al Majara? Where did I put the rest of it? It's not being very organised at the moment, so we'll get back into this. As you said, last few days have been, how you say, been a little jumpy. I was trying to work out what when these guys were getting the act together. Right, so that's all can go there. Yes, I know what's there.
Majara is like the world's weirdest holiday.
Lots of people come on holiday to here, which is the weird thing. So we start on Saturday. Saturday the 13th.
No, at least it's not Friday the 13th, then that would be bad.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Probably. Or it'd just be normal, because I don't know, things like that matter in Al Majara.
Was it arranged to meet again the next day? Where were you going to meet?
I'm sure that...
Oh, wait a minute, let me see what I put in the notes.
Mr. Al-Hir... How does your character say their surname? I'm going to struggle with that again.
Alighieri.
Alighieri.
That's it, wait a minute.
Like... I didn't do this on purpose, but as in Dante Alighieri.
Yes. Yes, I think you're going. Yeah, you're going to meet.
Actually, meeting the devil. So So yeah, Merry Christmas. You can do whatever you want with that, Andrew.
Yeah, I think you decided to meet at DK Imports next day to discuss what's to do next, because it looks like Mr. Franco's actually now being drawn into this because of this. Was it Alice message that kept coming in?
Yeah.
And I have suspicion.
I think Professor Dalton needed to talk to him about things that are best not said.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm having a drink. Right. So, like this, and so it starts. And that's the name of the next scene. Oh, that's why. Oh dear. Right. Got you. That's it. Okay, so the next day starts off. It's actually quite quiet. You can make your way off to DK. What time are you going to do? They get there fairly early.
Depends entirely how late we were up the night before.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I think
on a scale of 1 to sunglasses, how bad is this morning going to be?
you're slightly you're slightly a little worse.
Franco, it's pretty late. I think he.
Shall we call it civilized 10 o'clock?
Yeah, that should be about fine.
Okay.
Okay, was it as far as you're concerned that as far as Professor Dalton, you go for your usual morning routine with your was it dog taking a walk? Mr. Kovac this morning seems to be very worse for wear and has decided to wander off and stay in bed for the rest of the day.
It's probably those whiskey chasers that finished him off.
Yeah, and you wander off
yeah,
to
so
do
Professor Dalton will take his dog for a walk and then feed it and then go to DK Imports, which apparently is what I do now.
Yeah, it's just an office.
I mean, can I check am I still on the university roster as a professor? Am I doing both?
I don't think you are. Let me have a quick look. Oh, I don't think you are. No, you sort of work as a consultant, but you don't work for them.
Oh, living the dream. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have any.
Having checked that, and I assume burning all the marking that he no longer has to do.
There was no marking there anyway.
Good. That's always a good start.
You look through. Yeah, there was. Yeah, there were papers there you don't remember.
Oh, in the office. Okay.
No, in
my home office.
Yeah, there's papers there. There's no paper. There's lots of correspondence about DK invoices and other things to do with DK was it imports. Most of them was it the usual? Was it finding something and giving it back to someone, much as you used to do before?
Yeah. You know that stuff that I shoved in the box at the university in the vaults? Is that in anywhere at home, or am I going to have to try and blag my way to getting there?
None of that's at home.
Oh, nuts.
You find you did work for the university for a short while, for about a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
maybe that stuff doesn't exist in this world then. I don't know.
Yeah, but you visit. As you said, you're a consultant, so you can.
Okay.
As far as you can see, you can wander there. You can have an excuse to go there if you wanted to.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember rightly, was it one of those two things that disappeared already, or have they? Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, what happens when you mess with was it things? Yep. As for Franco, he wakes up in the morning, a little worse for wear. On the bed, on the pillow next to the paper, the knife, the paper envelope knife opener is actually stuck into the pillow, as if it's been driven into the pillow.
Oh no. Yeah, I think Franco kind of stares at that for a long minute. And then gingerly picks it up, between two fingers and tries to pull it out.
Yeah, it comes out.
Okay.
It left a nice hole in the pillow.
Well, I'd better find a real job soon. I'm going to have to owe the hotel some extra money now. So I, sort of shamble over to the bathroom and go about my daily toilette and yeah. Am I supposed to? Am I late yet to to meet?
No, it's about it's about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So it's not early. So you probably can wander there.
It's early for me. But
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I kind of go through my routine. Get maybe down to my last one or two clean clean sets of clothing here, and I get down to I go down to the hotel bar and like think about breakfast and instead get a Bloody Mary. And,
okay. As you go out to the door, the knife is actually stuck in the door, as if it's been thrown.
All right, I get it. I pull the knife out of the door.
Yeah.
And, slip it into. If I can find some way to. Well, it's like a letter opener. It's not a.
Yeah.
Not a real knife. Well.
It's sharp.
I find something that I can, use as a makeshift sheath, and so it's not poking, it doesn't poke a hole in my jacket pocket or something.
Yeah.
And slip it inside my jacket.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Bloody Mary, maybe a couple of eggs. And,
yep.
And then off to DK Imports.
Yeah, Bloody Mary and 2 eggs. Yep. Yeah, you go wandering off. You as you're going to DK, and you feel as if you're being followed.
Oh no. Am I on foot or have I hailed a cab yet?
You're on foot. It's in walking distance.
Okay. In that case, I try to do like a little bit of shuck and jive, zig and zag.
Yeah.
But I mean, Franco's not a he's not trained in this kind of stuff. So I make some sort of effort, but feel free to You
do it.
Nice.
You do a zigzag thing, and every few while there's this little dog that gets the little dog that looks at you. And goes back again. Does it at least twice.
Dog. Yeah. Okay.
As you get near DK, a little head pops around the corner and said, "Got any sausages?"
No, I don't have any sausages. I had eggs for breakfast.
And run us off. No, bloody God, is it bloody humans, or is it a waste of frigging time?
Okay, it was just the dog. All right, Franco. Like a little face slap. Get the blood moving again. Before he goes into the import company.
Yep, you come in. Was it where would Professor Dalton be? You'd be sitting talking to Marie in the main reception, or you'd be in your office?
Probably in my office.
Okay. You're just looking through all your papers again, are you, and see?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a handle on what I'm actually supposed to be doing as my job, what I've been up to, and he's diving through the filing cabinets like the pro academic that he is.
Yeah, you've been doing much the same as before. You've got notes on finding the hairy guy from was it from Beyond? Notes to do with finding artifacts for various people.
Okay.
Lots of invoices, which are some quite nice monies. A lot of the jobs had been recommended to you by a major Scott.
Okay. Is there anything outstanding?
At the moment, there's one to do with the Miss Hanson. She owes you for retrieving an object for her,
Okay.
and that's the only one, and that's for about $5,000.
Okay. Yeah, well, I will grab that and ask Marie to chase that payment up.
Is it okay? Right, so I think
For whatever it is.
I will do so. And at this point, a very how you say, confused Mr. Angari walks in from walks in, looking a little perplexed, if I remember rightly.
Yes. I'm supposed to meet Professor Dalton.
Yeah, he's there with Marie.
Oh.
There's no Mr.
Yeah.
Kovac in there either. Just
Okay.
Mr. Professor Dalton.
Good morning.
Yeah. How are you?
Perfectly okay. Just getting through some paperwork.
Oh well. Don't let me stop you. I'll.
Oh no, I'm about done. I've got most of it sorted, I think. Would you like to come through?
Yes.
And Professor
yes.
Dalton will invite you through to his office.
Yep, it's a nice office. I think you still might feel. You still might smell the faint aroma of the cigars, or the white rabbit.
Right.
Yeah, Professor Dalton sort of sniffs and opens the window.
Yep.
Yeah, the office has probably got lots of little knick-knack things that are they look sort of Greek or Roman. Lots of bits and pieces of that. Maybe a map of the ancient Greece and things like that, and also the typical sort of academic chaos vibe as well. So there's loads of books and stuff as well.
Oh, nice.
That's
Yeah, I think Franco.
ding,
takes a
ding,
little bit
ding,
of
ding, ding,
interest.
ding. You hear something sort of ping
Uh-oh.
in the door behind you.
I turn around and look.
That bloody knife is back there in the door.
What? All right, this is getting really annoying. I go over and pull it out, and I kind of slap it down on on the professor's desk and look across at you. And what is this thing?
A letter opener.
Yeah, if you check.
You seem to know
Can I see it?
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
Are you checking your pocket?
Did I see him pull it out the door?
Yeah, you heard it go in the door, but he was sitting there staring at you. Do you check your pocket?
Yeah, I assume it's not there anymore. Yeah.
It is.
Wait, what?
I'm
Do I have two?
check
Do I have
on
two?
Marie. That's weird.
Wait a minute.
Professor Dalton's going to make his way around his desk, open the door. Marie, are you all right?
He says, "Yep."
Has anyone been in here?
No.
Okay, just be careful and keep the outer door locked.
Okay. She wanders up and locks the outer door.
Oh no! This one's yours.
What do you mean?
I don't know what I mean. I just.
He's got two. There are two identical knives.
This, the one I pulled out of my pocket. This one was slipped into my bag, or something. at customs.
Okay. Right.
It won't let me go. This very thing happened in my hotel room. I had to take it with me. If I had to guess.
So is that one also yours?
No, I think this one's mine. I think this one's meant for you. Stuck in your door.
Oh God. Okay. Professor Dalton looks at the knife but doesn't touch it. Is there any writing on it, or in a language he can recognise or read?
No, it looks a fairly standard, was it, lesson opener with a dragon top on it. If anything, blade's a little sharper than it should be. Not only was it to open the letter, but probably cut it to bits.
And it has a dragon head on the...
Yeah, on the handle. It basically...
Okay.
Yeah, you've got the hilt, and it's basically like a dragon's head, shaped that it's easy to use. It'll fit in your hand.
Is it identical to the one that
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Alligari has?
Yeah, down to the neck. Down to the nicks on the blade.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so they're not a pair. They're a clone of each other? Maybe? I mean, there's no way you get two blades with exactly the same
That is
faults on
yes.
them.
Guess that's
I wonder if this is a reality thing again. Reality works a bit unusually on the island, unfortunately. Partially due to events that myself and Mr. Kovacs were able to stop for the most part.
I'm beginning to doubt my sanity, actually.
Oh no, you're perfectly sane, it's just Al Majara. It does that.
Yeah, that's the more reassuring option. Wow.
I jumped to 3 different time realities in roughly 3 days. Now, if I was sitting in England and I said that, I'd say, please sign me into the nearest psychiatric unit. But here, that's entirely plausible.
Yep,
that's why the German Gestapo officer came and gave me a note. He's somehow bled through from another reality, and I don't know, maybe he can't get back, I'm not sure, but it says that the project has been terminated and you've been recalled back to Berlin. That note isn't meant for me, it's meant for another version of me, who's an arsehole.
I'm just in... I think...
Go ahead.
Sorry if this is a bit brain melting for 10 AM.
I think someone's going to have...
I have not had nearly enough to drink to absorb all of this.
And this is just the start. Yeah, but you have a... If I remind you, you have to go and find someone. And you only you only have one lead.
What was that?
She escaped from the asylum a week ago after a fire.
Oh, Alice, yeah.
Do we? Oh yeah. Speaking of asylums, we need to find Alice. If I just sort of, I'm not going to touch that because I'm not sure I trust it as an object. But Professor Dalton will just use a pen to sort of edge the letter opener into a desk drawer and then shut it.
Okay.
Yeah, do we know where the asylum is?
You can easily find out. Ask Marie, she can find it for you. It's actually west of, was it of the edge, on the edge of the edge? No,
outside of the city.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
If I remember rightly, you have a car.
Yeah, I have a red Mini with a go faster stripe.
That's it.
So we can take the car. It's just that, I mean, I don't often go outside the city, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like.
You've only actually been outside the city once, and that was to see a certain compound. No.
Yeah.
In one was to do with Dr. Otto Vogel, and the other one it was a German. Was it a German base?
Facility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can take the car and we can find it. I assume we've got a map and.
Yeah.
If we go now, then hopefully the traffic won't be too bad because it's not quite lunchtime yet.
Yes. This is going to be interesting. Right, it's alright, I'm just writing notes. Okay. So, you're both going to go off. Are you going to get anything to eat? Oh, you're vet, have you? So you're just going to wander off towards where you think the asylum is. Marie will give you a map.
Okay.
And directions. It's go out on the Republic Road, if I remember rightly.
Okay.
And you'll see it. And it'll take you about.
If we're not back by about 5, start making official inquiries, will we?
Marie says, "Okay."
Thank you.
Yep. Contrary to what you thought, was it a pain to drive through Al Mazrou? It always is. Doesn't matter if it's that.
Is Marie any different to how she was before?
No, she's exactly as you remembered her. Down to, I think, remembered to the French accent. And as lovely as ever.
That's very strange. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to carry on.
Yep. And she carries on.
Yeah.
Though she isn't quite as flighty as the previous one was.
Okay.
She doesn't seem to be as worried about strangers for the fact she's acting as your receptionist.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll just we'll just get in the car and go. Professor Dalton's probably just a bit confused in his head.
Only a little.
Yeah, only a little.
Right. Okay, I just need to find the notes. Yep, so... Aha! Right, as you go out towards the car, Franco would be familiar with this. A pigeon comes gliding down. It's gliding down. It has a flying helmet on with goggles and carrying a bag. Stops in front of you and goes, "Coo! Coo!
Oh.
Coo!"
Hey. Got something for me?
Sort of nods.
Hunkers down and reaches into the carrier bag.
Yeah. There's a letter waiting for you.
All right. I pull it out and I motion for the pigeon to hang on a second, and I look around surreptitiously and pull out my hip flask and give him a little a little shot out of the cap and
sort of drinks and then looks behind and then flies off at speed.
Right.
And if you look
in,
if you look behind, there's 3 gentlemen. One was very tall with a pencil moustache. One very dumpy, very dumpy, and one that's very tall and skinny in the coat that actually all covers them. All with flying helmets and goggles, and there's a sort of a brown sort of dog. They spy the pigeon, they run across the road, dodging the traffic, stop, and the one in with the pencil moustache goes, "Stop the pigeon!" and it runs, and they run off in direction of the pigeon. I think you need that drink.
I take a swig for myself and prefer the flask to Hal if he wants some.
Driving, I'm not sure how that works over here, but I have no.
How many police cars have you actually seen on the street? The only ones you've seen.
How many times have I been arrested? I'm not taking that chance.
This is true.
I shrug and put it away.
Right, do you want to show this to both of you? I'll put it on. Which event is this? I'll put it on the general one if I can get there.
Sure. Yeah. I open up the. Yeah.
Right, let me just get this. Where is this? Recent. Oh, you little git. Oh, okay, I'll have to go all the way down. So I've added drives to this, so I have to go all the way down. It's the only problem being organised on a PC, because you have so many directories and subdirectories, and you've got to go down to the right one. The new directory is actually a lot smaller because all the bits and pieces were removed. Right, documents, handouts, events, and that should be the one. That's it, and that's up there, and it's there on the thing. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Yep, and that's the message you got given.
I'm not seeing it.
Where do I put it? It should be in the roleplay channel. Oh, wait a minute. Have I hit return yet? That's why.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep forgetting because it doesn't do it automatically. Yep, that's the one.
I was checking spots for dormice.
I mean, to me, that sounds like a quote from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. All right, let's keep
Well,
Yeah.
There's a theme going here. I've got another. I sort of open up my another folded letter in my pocket. Something else I got.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Just how mad is the Hatter? Just when is March Hare sane?
If I remember rightly, it was something to do with bed bugs.
Yes, that's right.
They bite your legs off when they're big. If I remember,
right.
Let me have a look, see if I can find.
Is it coincidence the fact that the knife was in your pillow and it mentioned bed? I could be overreaching.
Yeah, that might have.
Well, if I find a broken teapot when we get home, we know that we're right.
Oh,
or
man.
dormice.
Or bed bugs.
Right.
Yeah, you get into the
right.
You get into
Shall we go to the asylum and try and not to get checked in?
I don't know. I may want to admit myself before the day is through, but we'll see how everything unfolds.
Oh well, life on this island's interesting.
Especially.
I haven't told you about Marie, have I? Professor Dalton says this as he's driving the car.
Yeah.
To wherever
Your
we're going.
secretary?
Yeah. I think reality has shifted. Well, I know reality has shifted slightly since we, saved the world from an evil goddess and the Nazis. That sounds so crazy. Anyway, no, previously, when I first came to the island, I met Marie, and she's truly wonderful. And me being me, I invited her on a date, and we went to a Japanese restaurant, really nice, on the other side of the city. Had a lovely evening, and we were about to leave, and she suddenly sort of, I don't know how to describe it, she suddenly went sort of a little bit out of it and then exploded into fractals like a rainbow of light. And then
you're not being metaphorical.
I am not being metaphorical, I am being literal. She was sitting across from me, and she literally disappeared into fractals of light. But I mean, anyway,
you hadn't taken anything prior to this event.
No.
Okay.
As you're discussing this, you stop at a junction to let people pass, and all of a sudden you hear a pop above the roof, and the whole area around your car, and your car is now covered in gold and silver glitter, and an area around the car is being covered in gold and silver glitter, and there's a lot of people sort of brushing themselves off, looking in your direction.
I just shrug and use my windscreen wipers to clear my windscreen of glitter.
Yeah.
I'll actually get out of the car and like look at the roof.
Yeah, from the whole area, the roof is just covered in big piles of glitter, and for about a radius of 5 meters, there's glitter everywhere. Well, most of the glitter on the other side's now gone. There were people who generally brushing glitter off themselves, looking a bit, annoyed, and looking in your direction.
Get in the car.
That's guerrilla art installation, and
yeah.
I jump back in the car.
Yeah, as you go, you basically leave a trail of glitter down the street, and there's glitter as it's sort of coming off the back of the car. It looks quite pretty. Yeah, and
yeah. Did I get any on me when I went outside? Am I like shaking off?
You've got glitter on the window was closed, so your feet are more.
Okay.
You've walked some glitter in, basically. Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't realize that was going to be my first performance here.
Well, it will have well, I don't know if it'll even make the paper, to be honest. It's a bit...
Yeah. Considering the things that happen in this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, and you continue on, and as you go out of the town proper, through the burbs and all that, and to what passes for a standard Mediterranean island, olive trees, sort of green and dry sort of thing, and the road, you get passed by a big tank, and it looks like a German panzer tank.
Professor Dalton.
You recognise it.
Out of his jacket, puts them on.
Yeah, you recognise it, and the symbol you would recognise was one you saw at a certain base.
Very cool.
Yeah, you've just passed a German tank, but this one's not sporting the usual modern German thing. It's sporting, SS symbols and Germans. Yeah.
In the direction of the compound?
No, into town.
Okay.
From where you were heading.
But if we were to carry on along this road, would we come to the compound or not?
No, you won't.
Direction?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. And you eventually find the asylum. It looks the part. It's basically a big building. You know, I think the best one has a big central room. It has, a big central building. It has 2 large wings either side of it. It has a nicely kept garden with a road going up to the front. It has a gate, which looks soundly locked with the usual, the intercom.
Yeah.
As it sort of goes to the height of the car. The sort of thing where you sort of press button while you're sitting in the car.
I will give that a go.
And the voice that there says, yes? What do you want?
Good morning. My name is Professor Dalton. I was wondering if I could have a conversation with the administrator here.
Do you have an appointment?
No.
Bugger off.
We're here on some very important business. I think the administrator would like to talk to us about, well, maybe getting one of their patients back.
Which one?
Certain Alice.
Ah, then it goes quiet. And about after 5 minutes, the administrator will talk to you. And you hear zzz, and the gates go open up.
Yep.
All right.
I drive through.
Yep. And you go up a nice road up to the front. Like I said, it's a nice brick building. Looks very sinister. Well, it's got to look the part, hasn't it?
One of those old Victorian asylum jobs.
Yeah. A little, as you get close to it, not as quite as well maintained as it should be. And there's a gentleman in a white coat sort of now, hovering by the front door.
Yeah, I will turn the car around and park it so that I can drive out if I need to. And then I'll lock it up and we'll both go and talk to him.
The gentleman goes, you're Professor Dalton? He looks at Franco first.
No, I'm Mr. Alighieri, Professor. I motion over at Hal, Professor Dalton's associate.
Ah, sorry for the mistake. Will you follow me? The director will have a quick word with you.
Thank you, and I do appreciate you accommodating us, especially at such short notice. I should have thought to call ahead.
Yes, well, it's no problem. Ah, yes. That's the wrong one. Yeah, he goes up. You get taken up to the director's office. Ooh, something's gone disappearing. Ah, well, that's not a problem. Aha! It's in the wrong place, that's why. Okay. Yeah, you get taken up to an office. You're shown into a nice plush office. The archetypal big desk, a psychiatrist's couch, as they always got to have. A bit cliche, was it? And after about a few minutes, a gentleman comes in a fine suit. Looks more like a businessman than you would have thought a director of an asylum, and says, "Please sit, gentlemen," and sits behind the desk. And
I very much appreciate your time.
Yes. And my first question is, Who sent you?
I'm Professor Dalton, and this is my associate, Mr. Allighieri, and we work for DK Imports. We've been asked by a client to see if we can find a patient who I believe has gone missing. Her name is Alex.
Yes. You do. It's not common knowledge, so how did they find out?
I'm afraid they didn't share that even with me.
Well, we're sort of trying to hide it from the family at the moment, trying to sort of locate it ourselves.
Right.
So what
well,
do you...
then,
Go on.
I think that our goals intersect. Then
Certainly do.
we
Yes. Oh, of course, that's right. Yes, it does make sense. Yep.
May I ask why you're worried about Alice's family finding out?
Well, it's a difficult situation. One, it's difficult getting in contact with the person who, how you say, who's looking after her. And two, we don't particularly want people to know that certain patients disappeared out, escaped during a certain event. There are those within, how you say, or a certain family would be a little worried if they found out that certain people that escaped were here for, how you say, correction therapy. You understand what I mean? I mean,
How many are missing?
I'm not at liberty to say that, but Alice is one of them. But she isn't here for correction therapy. She's the only one that's genuinely here. A very strange case indeed.
Would you be able to elaborate?
It'd be a bit unethical, to say the least. But the fact you know more than you should, and you don't look like, was it peace officers or agents, if they wouldn't have been quite as subtle, they would have just come through the door full stop.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Emphasis on through.
You've had, was it dealings with the peace force before?
They're not wonderfully subtle.
No. No, they're not. Always better to keep on, your side. But anyway.
Yes, indeed.
We're sort of we're sort of being divergent at the moment. Well, Alice was sort of brought here by about 10 years ago. By, was it ambulance from an undisclosed place. She'd apparently, been found covered in blood, wandering in a catatonic state, by her family, who were deeply worried about her. So worried about her that we don't even know who they are, because everything is done through a PO box. So they pay the money to have her incarcerated here, and we send messages back via the PO box.
Right.
That's the only way we know. As I said, she's a strange case. We wanted to sort of sort it out before we have to send a message back to the people who are at the other end of the PO box, or the hassle that would be involved with it.
So you would like her back before
Oh yes,
the next message, which is due when?
They pay about once a year on the dot. so that won't be till later this year. But we would like her back because we believe she's a danger.
Right, okay.
She still, shows violent tendencies.
Okay.
And has had to be kept under sedation for most of her stay here.
Oh, okay.
So, so you're not going to tell me who told you about Alice, are you?
Well, no.
Client confidentiality.
Indeed. I'm sure you'd appreciate in the line of work that I'm in. Reputation means a lot.
Indeed, the same in my work. So we could come to an arrangement. E.g., if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
What do you propose?
For a fee, or gratuity, we could ask you to bring her back here instead. Sort of solves the problem. Would you be agreeable to such a thing?
Just out of game, Andrew. The other chap, the White Rabbit.
Yeah, I think he offered.
He didn't want her back, did he? He wanted her to go to him.
Yes. No, he wanted her back with him. Yes.
Not back at the asylum.
No. I think it was for. I think you got paid money up front, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was 5,000 or something like that. Well, the other was to be given to you when you got her. So, yeah. So he's looking at you almost expectantly. Of course, if you were to do that, I could give you all the information I have on, was it Alice? Which would include a, photograph, and a, the PO box number.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting you to offer this. May I call you back with an answer?
You certainly
Give me
can.
a telephone number for you here.
Yeah, he writes the
I'm
telephone.
terribly sorry, I haven't introduced myself properly. I'm Professor Hal Dalton. Professor offers a hand.
Yeah. I'm director, oh, I've got to think of a name now.
Sorry.
Colton.
Carlton.
Galton.
Carlton.
That's it.
Okay.
Just shakes hands. Okay, I'll give you the number. He scribbles it down on a bit of paper.
Okay.
And once you've decided, I could give you all the information you need. And he smiles.
Thank you. I very much appreciate your time and thank you.
As you go,
is there anything you wish to ask?
No, not at the moment. Though I would ask you not to mention this conversation outside of this place. It never happened. You understand?
Oh, cool.
Of course.
Mr. Allighieri, do you have any further questions or anything for the director?
Well, maybe, could we inquire as to any of Alice's other symptoms?
That other than she's can be a little disconnected and violent. No others, as far as we know.
any habits she has? Things she likes or is drawn to?
No, she spends most of the time sitting doing very little. Talking to herself.
Alright. Well then,
How
I
old is
suppose
she?
we'll...
In her early 30s.
Alright.
Of course, as you said, if you help me, I could always give you the photograph.
Well, as I say, allow me to have a think, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, as you get to the door, though, I could always be swayed by money.
How much?
Well, it's such valuable information to you, isn't it?
Time saving.
Ooh. Would you just close the door quickly?
Yep, Professor Dalton will close the door.
Let's see. The question is how was it valuable this information is to you? Is it more valuable than a $5,000? Or less valuable than that? Is the question.
Considering that the professor's company is being hired to do this, anything that we pay out of pocket is comes out of our final paycheck.
So, what were you thinking? He's sort of looking at you. Name your price.
I was thinking much lower.
How low?
Considering that we would be doing you a favor, actually.
True.
I'm thinking 3 figures, not 4.
Oh, it would have to be 4. Though I could go lower. Let's say 2,500.
1,000 tops.
Sort of gets.
And that is.
Yeah, he sort of gets a pipe, a cigar out, sort of as it lights it up and sort of wanders around the room looking, thinking. At the window, comes back. Up front? Now?
I turn to the prof. It's up to you whether
Well,
the money is easier or his deal.
allow me to talk to my client. I'll put forward your proposal, obviously not naming who it's from, just that we have a source of information, and that the cost would be 1,000.
Okay.
It's up to him if he's willing to pay that or not.
Well, there you have it. We'll be in touch.
Okay, yep. Why was it was it in touch soon?
Of course.
Excellent.
Thank you for your time.
And yours.
Yep, we'll leave.
Yep. Right, so are you going to drive back into town, are you?
Yeah, we get in the car and go out of the gates of the asylum,
Yep.
and then back towards town.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering whether to go back to the office or not, actually.
Yeah, as it gets busier as you get back into the town again, like last time.
If it's really busy, I might just be really lazy and turn off at my apartment, and we can ring the office from there.
Mm-hmm. I think he gave you.
If we're outside of town.
Yeah, you could. You can easily get there. The two are a reasonably short distance.
Yeah. We'll go to where the professor lives, and he'll
ring there.
Ring the office from there.
And Marie answers?
Yeah, Professor Dalton will welcome you to his
apartment.
Yeah.
It's a nice apartment, and there's a guy that sort of pads in out of a room, goes to the kitchen. It's Bartok. Gets a visitor. Was it a drink? Sort of looks you up and down, and then wanders back into the thing. Bartok's doing his usual thing.
That's Bartosz. He's a antisocial student. He keeps an eye on the apartment when I'm not here, and feeds the dog.
Yep. Oh, there's a dog. Was it sniffing around you? Was it?
He's very friendly. The dog, not Bartosz.
I gathered.
Yep.
That much. I have to ask, given what I've been through in the last 24 hours, is he a student who's antisocial, or is he a student of antisocial behavior?
Oh, he's just a student who, he keeps himself to himself mainly.
Okay.
He Professor Dalton says this quietly. He runs a conspiracy theory website, so he finds our genre very interesting.
I see. I thought for a second, maybe Alamara had their university had a department of antisocial studies or something like that.
They have weirder departments than that, my friend.
Yeah, they have the department of paranormal was it studies.
But yes, to be honest, I don't really tell Bartosz anything that happens that's weird, because it will end up on the internet. So yes, as far as he's concerned, I'm a professor and I live a boring life.
All right.
He smiles.
Yeah. Yep. So you call the office and Marie answers. DK Imports. What can we do for you?
Hello, Marie. It's Hal. A bit of a development. We've been up to the asylum. Would you be able to ask our client if he would be willing to pay $1,000 for a file, and no, don't say a file, for some information regarding Alice, which might help us to locate her?
Okay, I could do.
Don't tell him where we've been or anything, but just say that we have a source who has some useful information, and he is willing to part with it, but only for $1,000. It is entirely his decision as to whether he wishes to take that or not. I said that it was the client's decision. So,
okay.
If you'd be so kind as to make that request.
I can do. Give me. I'll try to ring you back in half an hour.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, put the phone down. Yeah, so Marie, before I got ever so distracted by a load of glitter in the car. So yes, in the previous version of reality, she blew up in front of my eyes into a load of fractals of colour, and yes, it was heartbreaking and strange at the same time. But yeah, when I reappeared in this world, the morning I met you, I walked into the office of a building that I'd never been in before, and I was greeted by my receptionist, who apparently is this woman who I went on a date with. But she doesn't seem to remember that. But I haven't asked her, so I'm not sure.
Well...
And that's my morning.
I can't say I'm a stranger to awkward next mornings, but
he smiles at you.
And not being able to remember certain things, but yeah, that does sound very strange.
Thud. Ding 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 ding.
Bit, yeah.
You hear a thud, ding 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 ding, as in the metal. Was it a? As
Is it in the door?
No, it's on your. Is it nice new on one of your worktops?
Oh, for God's sake! Is it mine or yours?
It looks just. Yeah, your knife is still there. Your other knife is locked in the. Well, is supposed to be in the drawer in your office.
Mine's still on me. Check your drawer.
It's the office, the other office.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're at my house. The other one's at the.
Well, take that with you and then check your drawer when you get back to your office.
If these things are breeding, I'm going to get very unhappy.
Yes. As am I. What is this?
Yeah, it looks exactly the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Down to the same nick.
Yep. You seem to know something about this when I mentioned it in the hotel restaurant. What? You're an archaeologist, obviously. What? Does this have any kind of significance? I know maybe outside of your expertise, but
I'll take a look at it. It's other than the fact that it's possibly Oriental in origin. Can I tell how old it is, roughly?
It's actually fairly modern.
Okay.
It's not ancient. It is of a modern design.
Has it got a cast line? So it's been.
It's well maintained. Who's ever did it? It is well crafted. It has been. Was it polished off? You think?
Okay. I really don't understand this. I mean, it's not. Is it not? It's not particularly valuable. It's just like a tourist trinket, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, the blade is sharper than it should be. And if you look at it really closely, it's been sharpened. As if
is it a sort of classic Western style dragon, or is it more of an Eastern style dragon?
It's a classic Western style.
Okay.
And if you look at the blade closely, it has striations on it, as if someone has sharpened it.
I don't understand this at all. When I first came to the island, I got something stuffed in my suitcase, and it was a dinosaur. That was no end of trouble.
like a plastic toy dinosaur?
I wish it was a plastic toy dinosaur. It was made of some material that every gangster in the entire city seemed to want hold of.
Yes, so
it's okay. I've got rid of it.
That's something.
So that's why I advised you to keep that and not tell anybody about it, because it could be that they've used you to try and smuggle it in, whomever it is. And I don't know why it keeps raining knives.
Yeah.
Could I try telephoning the chap who is the slightly dodgy courier?
Oh, Shadow Crusade. Yeah, Shadow Couriers. Yes,
Yeah.
you have the number there. Mr. Taylor, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, can I give him a call?
Oh, yeah. And you get a voice in the female voice on the end. Shadow Couriers, what can we do for you today?
Hello, it's Professor Dalton. Could I talk to the boss, please?
Oh, nice to hear from you, Professor Dalton. I can certainly put you through to, was it Mr. Taylor now? If you bear with me here.
Thank you very much.
After a few minutes, you'll hear a familiar voice at the other end. Oh, hello. Was it Professor Dalton? Have you got any work for me lately? Any more for me?
No, I was just wondering whether you'd lost something. My friend has had a slightly weird experience at the airport, and
don't we all? Don't we all? Yeah.
Well, okay. Weirder than usual Almajaran airport experience, shall we say? And he appears to have acquired a letter opener.
Yes.
With a dragon on it. I don't suppose that's anything any of your clients have misplaced, is it?
No, not as far as I know.
Oh, well, I just thought
is it anything like the certain dinosaur?
Oh God, I hope not.
Yes, I do believe you had, was it some issues with that, or so I was told.
Well, hopefully those are resolved, but I would appreciate it if you kept it quiet that this object seems to have come into my friend's possession.
If I hear of anything about it, I'll tell you.
Yes, I'd be grateful if you would.
Yeah.
I would imagine you would be one of the people that people approach about things.
And if you could, at some point, was it mail me a picture of the knife? I could have an ask.
Yes. I mean, if someone needs it returning to the original owner.
Exactly.
If anybody inquires about it, obviously we don't want the same stupidly ridiculous bun fight over it as we had last time.
Yes, it was an interesting situation. Something to do with strange reports of Nazis running around. Though this is Almajara, so it's nothing new.
Oh, no, not really. But thank you for your time, and yeah, I will. I'll send you across a picture.
Yes, please. It would be interesting to see what's so special about this knife.
Oh, there's 2 of them, possibly 3. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, that is interesting.
Yes, it appears to have the ability to duplicate itself. Exactly.
Send me a picture. This could be interesting.
I thought it might be your cup of tea.
I could also go and ask, was it gentleman who runs a certain Japanese restaurant? He may know.
Yes, he may
Yeah.
indeed.
Nice talking
Thank
to
you
you.
for your time.
Yes. When you have any more work, feel free to put it in our direction.
Absolutely. Thank you. No, he doesn't know about it, unfortunately. But we'll send him a picture, and he might be able to find out some more.
Well, that's a start. Thank you.
Shadow Imports, by the way, if you need anything moving into or out of Al Majara,
they'll do it.
He'll do it.
Shadow Imports, that's...
No, Shadow
on my nose.
Shadow Couriers.
Shadow Couriers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very on the nose.
Oh yes. If I remember rightly, he was managed to move 2 things at once. And be there.
He's an interesting individual, but I've dealt with him previously. It's been fine.
Good to know.
But yeah, Shadow Couriers. If
oh yes.
as I say, if you need anything moving and it's a little bit, shall we say, hot, they might be able to do it.
And Al Majara,
of course.
yes, getting things on and off Al Majara is getting it elsewhere is the hard part. Yep, and after half an hour, about half an hour, the phone rings. And do you answer it?
You gonna get that?
Alright, I'm just typing up that bit. Hang on.
Oh.
you can take the phone if you like. I'm just typing.
Professor Dalton's residence.
Oh, hello. This is Marie, and I might as well tell you that the client has said yes. He'll post the money. Was it to the office at his first convenience?
Very good. Thank you, Marie. I'll let the professor know.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Oh, you too.
And the phone puts the phone down.
All right. We got the go-ahead.
Super. We can inform the director. Not that I'm a particular fan of his. Do you want? You can ring him as well if you like.
Sure. I'll dial the director.
Yep. Hello. Who do you want to speak to?
This is Mr. Alighieri for Director Carlton. We spoke in person earlier today.
Let me put you through.
Thanks.
Mr. Alighieri, what can I do for you?
Director Carlton, wonderful to hear your voice again. We have spoken with our employer, and they will be wiring you the necessaries post haste.
I'd rather have it in cash.
Cash.
He's taking the cash to the office. It's fine.
All right, we'll be there.
Okay.
This afternoon. We'll be there this afternoon.
Later today. That should be fine. Yes.
Yeah. See you then.
Yeah, and you, and nice doing business with you.
Absolutely. You slimy prick. after I've put the receiver down. All right. He wants cash.
Of course he does. Does he want it in non-sequential bills?
I just say cash.
Don't care. Let's just get this over with.
Right, I've just got to pop downstairs quickly, so bear with me here. I just want to make sure the little horrors haven't done anything they shouldn't.
They've been too quiet for too long.
Yes, so bear with me here.
Yeah.
Sure. right, I think I've got a rough character sheet.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
The thing is, with this game, you can just sort of spitball it, really.
Right. It's it's a system that's not too worried about specifics.
No. So long as you've got your main traits and your flaws, it's fine.
Yeah. So I'm kind of torn with my flaw. I was either going to go with Lush, which I've already been kind of playing him as, or attention hog, as a performer is always kind of looking to grab the spotlight. So I'm not quite sure which one. I'm probably going to role play both of them to a certain extent, but whichever one. Not sure which one to. I mean, nobody else. Does anybody else have like an alcoholic or like flaw or anything like that?
Hal's flaw, which you might have briefly caught a glimpse of, is that he's a sucker for a pretty face.
Oh, okay.
He has a real weakness for pretty women, and he struggles to see if he's being lied to or manipulated by them. He has to have very strong evidence for that. So yeah.
Yeah. That's a good.
Which
is
why he went on about Marie to you a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Because he was genuinely, totally sort of awestruck by this woman, because she was like his ideal woman in like every single way, and then she just disappeared into fractals right in front of his face, and it was like his second day on the island. So. Yeah, that was interesting.
Well, in that case, I feel like the attention hog might be at cross purposes with that, but I think that could also create some interesting interesting tensions. As Franco is always trying to grab everybody, might cause Franco and Hal to sort of vie for for different kinds of attention, but still attention nonetheless.
No, the thing is that I genuinely regretted writing that in the last campaign, because the big bad guy was a very attractive goddess of an ancient type with sort of really pretty dark hair and green eyes, and he was really sort of having to keep his flaws in check, which was interesting.
I'm sure
he was fighting everything not to flirt with this woman, basically.
Right. As a professor of antiquities, also, that's probably it was like a double trouble.
Oh yeah, exactly. But she's an actual ancient goddess, and she's hot. It's
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of his skills, Professor Dalton is very sort of he's academic. So he's a Greek and Roman expert, myths and legends. He's a real bookworm, but he has science lab skills as well, because you have to be an archaeologist. Because I kind of made him as kind of like Indiana Jones, but the bookish version, not the whip and the hat version.
Right.
Although he does wear a hat if it's sunny. He has a slight old rugby injury, so he does limp on one leg. But
yeah, sorry about that. The little dears had left messages, so I'm about to bring him up. Oh yes. So they're now up here. Won't you, Pepe? So yeah, so there's Astra. The bedroom's open, so they'll disappear in there. Right. Now we can get back to that.
So I was just I was telling Becky I sent my I have a mock-up of my character sheet in the
yes, I've seen it.
Okay, cool.
So I've got that already.
Yeah, I'm almost Franco is almost 100% social.
That's excellent. That's just what you need. Being a singer, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aha. Yes. It's just me getting my scenes wrong. Yes, Bear, this is a game. It's very boring. Oh, blimey. Sorry, it's our cockapoo eater. It's your heart, aren't you? Ow. You just being a pain, aren't you? Yes, you are allowed up here, but you have to get out of the way. So Astra won't go downstairs. She can't. So she'll stay up here, but Bear and Callie will go up and down. Anyway. So, you are going to go back to the asylum, are you?
Well, we've got to drop off.
And you want to go via the office?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Have I got all the glitter off my car yet?
Most of it.
I've driven fast enough.
Yeah, you got most of it off there.
Good.
And
I do really like the way that you hung out your head out the window and go gorilla art expression. Fantastic.
Oh yes, that's it. Yep, and so you drive to the office.
Yeah.
And Marie's there. Oh, hello, Professor. I wasn't expecting you here.
We came to pick the payment up.
Oh, it hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, when's it arriving?
Didn't say.
Oh.
Just said it would be posted to you, or a courier would come, or a courier would drop it off. But I've seen no courier yet.
Oh. Well, I'll let's just go to your office and keep the window open. I'm sure the pigeon will be along soon.
Yeah. We prop open the window and wait in the office.
We do have we do have something to check on, don't we?
Let's check, as in
the item we left in your drawer.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah, it's still there.
So we have 3 now?
We got 3?
You've got 3.
Alright, well that blows my theory out of the water.
Let's see if we get 4 or if it stays at 3. If it's 3, I've got a theory.
I mean, if this keeps happening, we can just open up a street side vending stand and just sell these for a few bucks a piece.
To unsuspecting tourists. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, how long do you wait for this courier?
Till the office closes? At 5, I assume?
Well, I told him we'd be there this afternoon. Maybe if all else fails, maybe we could just Well,
we can ring him if it gets to like 4:30 or 4 o'clock and it's not arrived. We can just tell him the courier hasn't arrived yet. We'll let him know.
Do you have I hate to ask, I hate to be presumptuous, but do you have 1,000 that you could give out of your own pocket until the...
Yeah.
That would certainly expedite things. Just take this.
It's better than wasting the time, isn't it? We can always send the client an invoice.
Yes.
Yeah, I assume that I can. Well, Professor Dalton will have that in the bank for sure. So
yeah,
we can just go and pick some cash up.
There's some cash in the office. You have a safe.
Well, he's already agreed to pay it, and I assume that there's some sort of expenses clause.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I'll just go in the safe and grab 1,000 and then put it in a expensive looking manila envelope and write director on it. I was going to go for a brown envelope, but that feels too literal.
Oh dear. Yep, that's fine. So you have the envelope. Alright, so money's in loop. Director. Okay. Yep. So you sort of wander off to the car, and as you go out the car, two gentlemen in full Nazi uniforms sort of take. Yeah, we mean full. With a very not with the usual. Was it a squash sticker on the arms? But was it another symbol? Which was it? Professor Dalton was it recognise instantly? It was to do with a certain base, and it looks very similar to the one you had a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, and they take one look at you. Look very surprised.
I just get in the car.
You're supposed to be dead, sir. And they go,
Do I look dead?
No, sir.
About your business?
Yes, sir. And they do a high little salute and wander off.
We'll have to do something about this eventually.
No. What you do is you just completely BS it like that, because they seem to respond to authority. The version of me who lives in their world is very high up in their military structure. So I've found that if I just give them orders and tell them to go away, that's what they do, because they're scared of me.
Alright, I guess that works. Won't they ever just go back to where they...
I don't know. I don't know whether they can. I don't know whether I don't think they can get back, to be honest.
I would ask why nobody cares that there's literal SS jackbooted Nazis walking through the streets, but given what I've seen in the last day or so, I
have one of these uniforms in my office. I feel like burning it, but I have one.
And you also have there's also a nice German one in there too. Yeah, you go to sit down, you notice there's a knife, a familiar knife stuck in your driver's seat.
This is...
4? Yeah, my theory's wrong.
Yep, and
why did you think it'd stop at 3?
I assumed it would be 1 for each of the realities I've experienced, but clearly I was wrong.
Alright, well,
where do you put that one?
Okay.
Just in the glove box. I no longer care. There's too many of these now.
Yeah, alright, well, let's task at hand, I guess. We don't have any kind of leads on this, so we're just gonna have to deal with nicks and holes and everything until we solve this one.
Yeah.
Could be worse. It could be dinosaurs.
Yeah. Right. To the asylum, I think.
Dragons, dinosaurs, they're almost the same thing, right?
Yep.
I called the dinosaur Rexy. Because it was a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And there was Steggy, which was the Stegosaurus.
Those are my favorites. Alright. Off to the
asylum. Yeah, you have a drive, no more glitter bombs, no more pigeons, but you get to the same point on the road you, as it were, last time, and you get a serious case of deja vu. There's a big German tank that's sort of going towards the town again.
I do the same again. Sunglasses, keep going.
Yep. And it looks remarkably the same. It's alright, I've now ended up with a little dog. What do you want, Bear? Little dog on my lap.
Oh.
Yes. And a bear who's trying to inspect what I'm doing. Come on, Bear, come down. Yep, and yeah.
So there's a tank, and we pass it at exactly the same place.
Point, yeah, as last time. It looks exactly the same as last time.
This is. It's like. I'm starting to believe your multiple realities scenario, because you seem to be having things just layered on top of each other. Events,
yeah.
the knife reproducing itself. Now this same tank coming by us at the same. This is.
Oh, you're going to the right place.
Yeah.
I think you'll be drinking by the end of this one.
Either checking in or trying to annihilate my brain later. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and
one of those.
Yeah, one of those.
See what happens when we press the buzzer.
Yeah.
Press the buzzer.
Asylum, what do you want?
Hello, my name's Professor Dalton.
All right. Well, that.
Do they let us straight in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a time loop then. That's good.
All right. Yeah. That's comforting in some way.
Yeah, and you get there and the same gentleman's waiting on the doorstep.
Do you have the file?
No, I'll take you to the, was it director?
Oh, it's not the director.
No.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was the director.
No, it's the same direction. I'll take you to the director. And he sort of wanders off with you, and you get taken into the same office. And the director's there with a cigar in his mouth. Tells the guy the orderly to go away. And he's puffing on a cigar. Have you got the money?
Indeed. The professor pulls the envelope out of his jacket pocket.
And the gentleman was it pulls out a manila was it folder. You'll find all the information in there.
Much appreciated, and of course, naturally, we were never here.
Of course, he hands you the folder, and he takes the money.
Yep. I will take the folder. Has Franco got anywhere he can hide a folder? Has he got a bag or anything?
Just a jacket. I can tuck it under my.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just.
Much appreciated.
Nice doing business with you.
Indeed.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ciao.
Yeah. Will disappear.
Yep.
I'm not hanging around this place too long.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, get in the car and drive out. Does the tank thing happen again?
No, it never happened last time.
Oh yeah.
Out on the way back. Yeah.
Just
Do you want to take a look at the file while we drive? Well,
yeah.
while I drive.
Let's open it up.
Yep.
Is there going to be a handout?
No. It is a folder of hers. There is a photograph of Alice, who looks like a young lady with blonde hair. Looks about in her 30s. A little haggard. And there is a PO box which you can make a note of. And the PO box is PO Box 1231, The Edge, Al Amaja. This is spelled A-M...
So, could you write that in the...
Yeah, I can do. Yeah, roleplay, so it's... was box 1231. The edge. Oh, when I can spell it. The edge. Oh.
Yeah, that was a good idea to use the cash from the office. It's meant that we can do it today rather than having to wait.
Aldemar. That's the address.
Thank you.
Yeah, 1231. Yeah, that's how I got it there.
Well, I feel I should pay you for your time, Mr. Alligari, and if you would like to continue working on this case, you're very welcome.
And I came here for a job. This is not the job I thought I was signing up for, but I do need employment.
Yes,
So,
that's absolutely fine. Yeah, Professor Dalton will think of a number that's fair.
Yeah.
Becky doesn't have a clue.
I think how much was it that? You remember you've got to pay for it. That's how much you want to do. I'm trying to think. The hotels over there will be a lot of money a week. Wherever you want.
Until I find some more permanent residents.
And Mr. Kovacs might be able to help with that.
Yeah, that's true. You can sort that out. Yeah.
He's sorted himself out with some accommodation. I'm not sure how he did it. Mine originally came through the university, but
yes, he found he already had some. Guess I still got to sort out where. But last time he stayed at your apartment anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big cutie pie. You are. Sorry, it's a Astra. He's been so cute.
No.
She's a Frisian Brijon. She's a Frisian Brijon, so she's just sort of small and cute. Okay, right. Fee for working. For him. For Franco. Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to this when when I've got to him. Okay. Yep. Yeah, and you go back to the office, do you?
What time is it?
It's getting early evening, because by the time you've gone in and out, you spent most of the day, was it, travelling to the asylum?
Yeah. I mean, do you want dropping off at the hotel, or? I mean, I have a spare room if you wish.
That would.
Until you
fine,
find,
yes.
Yeah, until you find somewhere it saves hotel money.
True.
If you don't mind Bartosz, he's, as I say, he keeps himself to himself. He generally has his computer in his room, but there is another guest room.
There is, yes.
And you can meet. Well, you've met Eos, my dog, already. Apologies if he wakes you up in the morning.
Well, if I wouldn't be imposing, that would save me quite a bundle on
yeah,
hotel
that's
room.
absolutely fine.
We can work that into my my remuneration.
Yeah,
somehow.
okay.
So you're going to collect your stuff from the hotel, are you?
Yeah.
To be honest, it's probably safer with all the weird stuff that's happening as well.
Yeah. Safety in numbers, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep, you go and find. Yep, you go that, and you get out. They give you all your passport and etc. back, and you can get out of the hotel with no hassle. And they say, yeah, have a thank you for your usual thing, your patronage. If you knew that, you're always welcome back to come back.
Thank you very much.
And yes, and you go and get into the car. Well, what's next?
Right.
Hey. Well, as you go towards the car, a gentleman sort of approaches the pair of you. He's wearing a long, grey coat, a dark glasses, and a hat, and he's carrying a briefcase. And he sort of Good evening. He sort of sidles up to you, and in a very bad Russian accent, he says, "It is remarkably warm weather in Petrograd." And he's sort of looking around.
I don't know where that is. You have the wrong person.
I greet him and I say hello in Russian. And yeah.
He sort of looks at you a bit strange, doesn't it? And repeats, "It's remarkably warm weather in Petrograd." Sort of still looking around. And he sort of waits, and he looks. "Ah, sorry, wrong person." Lifts his glasses up and said, and walks off.
До свидания. or whatever it is. I
know you, but yeah. And he sort of wanders off.
Does this? All right, no. I'm just gonna roll with it.
That's what I do.
It's always the way to. Yeah, you get into the car. No knives. No surprises. The knife is still in the glove compartment.
Okay.
And you make.
We just need to keep a knife in every room that we're in, so that it
doesn't breed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get back to the the apartment.
Yeah, Dalton will show you to the guest room.
Well,
you can make yourself at home.
You open the front door of the actual apartments, and you get covered in snow from above.
What?
Yeah, as you open the door.
I look up to the ceiling. Is there a hole or?
No, you look up to the roof. There's a little, where the front of the apartment is. There's a little. There's a little sign there was snow there, and you're sort of covered in it. It's like as if it's fallen off the roof.
Oh, okay.
Bartosz, this isn't funny.
Yeah, you go into the apartment.
I brush it off.
Yeah, you go into the apartment, leaving trails of snow up the carpet towards your apartment door.
I swear, if this is some sort of Freshers joke, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Yeah, you get into the apartment, and it's still there. Bartosz is still in his room. And what do you do for the rest of the evening?
As little as possible, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Franco goes and finds a corner store, and
yeah, you'll find there's lots. Actually, there'll be a lots here where they'll sell alcohol and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, he gets some booze and cocktail fixings, and and yeah, kind of sets himself up at the if there's I don't know what the kitchen layout is like, but if there's any kind of
yep. Well,
it's one of those.
Yeah. Well, actually,
it's one of those kitchens that looks out onto the sort of main living area / dining room. It's very open plan.
Well.
Oh, great! So there is kind of a bar there that he'll get.
Yeah.
There's a breakfast bar.
You don't
Slash bar.
you don't exactly have a uneventful journey back to the apartment.
Oh, okay.
As you're leaving the shop, a man in a gorilla suit comes running past you, chased by a woman in a pink tutu, wielding a meat cleaver, who's sort of chasing him.
I get well out of the way of that.
Yep. The guy's just running for his life, and she's sort of after him. Yeah, so you avoid it.
Yeah, I don't want to get in the middle of that. Who, maybe that's their thing.
Yep.
You never know.
Yeah, you certainly get back to the bar with no other instances, and yes, there is a nice little bar kitchen, and you can sit there and drink as much as you need.
Yeah, I gotta. I don't know if what's his face is coming out of his room, but I will pour 3 glasses.
Oh well, actually, yeah. Was it I think a guy will come out, as in Mr. Victor, who join you in the drink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who's not generally fazed by what's your story of the day. He's much like the professor, little blasé about this whole mad caboodle called Almajara.
They'll probably regale you with the story of how in the last couple of days they've actually saved the universe.
Yeah, the reality machine, the evil goddess called Tanith Hizuzu, the Nazi base they had to break into, and the place where they got shot, the cold place where they got shot, the other version of Al-Majara where they had Euros, and that's the one where they had the issue with the dinosaur, if I remember rightly.
Oh.
And a certain pizza shop being invaded by Nazis. Oh yeah, the grey uniforms and the lot. And a certain old gentleman they met in the thing, and the furry guy that foul-mouthed monkey, or was it ape man?
Yeah, that didn't like me at all. It sweared at me from the moment that it came out. Well, before it came out of the box.
Oh yes, and the fact that it was let out by the Peace Force, who were convinced it was something dodgy.
I mean, it just wasn't what they were expecting.
No, and it wasn't what you were expecting. You were led to believe it was an artifact, not one. Not one that was actually living and swearing. Yes.
No, I mean normally, we get paid to move objects, and after that incident, I am very clear that objects are objects. They do not breathe or swear at you.
Yeah, and you didn't take it back to the university. It actually escaped into the edge, so something slightly different here.
Mm.
Here it was taken back to taken to the university.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's something that's different to what you were
So yeah, that's a summary of the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, including the world that was falling apart because of the reality machine, and the great
everything was sort of on the verge of collapse.
Yes.
And it would have collapsed if we hadn't have blew up the reality engine, which
yes,
I think I kind of created, or a version of me kind of created.
Oh, and and you talked to Sherlock Holmes.
Oh boy.
Oh yes, they had the fun of going back to Victorian London at one point, or they think it was Victorian London, and finding a very strange machine in a shed which blew up.
Lots of machines blowing up.
Oh yeah.
Indeed. But hopefully that's all. Well, it all seems to have stabilised, and it all seems to be. It seems to have worked. What we did seems to have worked. There are some slight kinks. So
yes.
Yeah, there are random Nazis wandering around, but the time skips have stopped, which is the main thing.
But saying that, before this, you had weird Nazis wandering around.
Yeah, so we've stopped the time skips, and everything seems to have, in terms of chronology, stabilised. So
you hope there's
I'm calling that a win.
I think on this note.
No, I'm not drunk, says Professor Thornton. Yet.
Yes. Yeah, you can have a nice evening drinking, and I think that's at that point. I think we'll call it a day as far as the game's concerned, because I think you've had. I think that's enough weirdness, and you've got now have the pitch of Alice. You now have a PO box. Yeah, you've had various that's funny encounters with Nazis and talking dogs, as per usual. I think all the rest of the weirdness will be for next time, and you.
Yeah, no, it feels like a good stopping point.
Yeah. And I've got as far as I need to, and as he said, I'm being distracted by little puppy dogs.
Yeah.
Especially evil ones called Astra. You are, aren't you? Well, I thought yes. She's missing me. Yeah. So I'll switch the recording off, and we'll for the next